Hello, everyone, and welcome to Alex's English Podcast. I'm Alex, and I'm so happy you're joining us today. In this episode, we're going to talk about daily routines, what we do each day, from morning until night. I'm here with my wonderful coworker, Sophia. How are you, Sophia?
Hi, Alex. I'm doing well, thank you. I'm excited to share our daily routines and hopefully help everyone practice simple English. It's great to be here with you.
I agree. Daily routines are something we all have. They can seem very normal, but talking about them is a great way to learn everyday English words and phrases. So, Sophia, let's start with you. What does your typical morning look like?
Sure, Alex. On weekdays, I usually wake up around 6:30 a.m. I'm not a heavy sleeper, so I don't need too many alarms. After I get up, I head straight to the bathroom to wash my face and brush my teeth. That helps me feel more awake. Then I go to the kitchen to make breakfast.
That sounds like a good start. What do you usually have for breakfast?
My breakfast is simple. I like to eat a bowl of oatmeal with some fresh fruit, maybe bananas or berries. If I have extra time, I'll make scrambled eggs or toast. But on busy days, oatmeal is quick and easy. What about you, Alex? Do you have a similar morning routine?
My morning routine is slightly different. I usually get up around 7 a.m. I'm not a morning person, so I sometimes hit the snooze button once or twice. After I finally get out of bed, I drink a glass of water first. Then I shower, brush my teeth, and get dressed.
Do you eat breakfast right away or do you wait?
I wait until after my shower. I usually make a cup of coffee or tea to wake up. For breakfast, I often eat cereal with milk or a slice of toast with peanut butter. If I feel hungry, I might add a piece of fruit. Then I check my phone or the news briefly before I leave for work.
That's a good idea. Checking the news can help you stay informed. So, once you're ready, how do you get to work?
I take the bus. My bus stop is about a 5-minute walk from my apartment. The bus ride to the office takes around 20 minutes, if there's no traffic. Sometimes I listen to music or a podcast on the way. It helps me relax and prepare for the day. How about you, Sophia?
I usually drive. I have a car, so I leave my house around 8 a.m. My commute is about 30 minutes on average, but it can be longer if there's a traffic jam. I like to listen to upbeat music or practice my speaking skills with an English podcast, maybe Alex's English podcast sometimes.
That's great to hear. Podcasts are a fantastic way to practice English while traveling. So let's talk about what happens once we arrive at the office. Could you share your typical work routine?
Of course. I get to the office around 8:30 or 8:40 a.m. First, I greet my colleagues. Then I turn on my computer and check my emails. If there's something urgent, I respond right away. If not, I plan my tasks for the day.
Sounds organized. How do you plan your tasks?
I usually write a to-do list. I list the most important tasks at the top and then smaller tasks below. I like crossing things off as I go. It makes me feel accomplished. After that, I might attend a morning meeting or start working on a project.
That's a great method. I do something similar. Once I'm at my desk, I quickly check my inbox and calendar. Then I see if there are any meetings or deadlines. Sometimes we have team stand-up meetings where we share updates on our projects.
Yes, we do. Those stand-up meetings help everyone stay connected. After that, I usually get into deeper work. For example, if I have documents to review or presentations to prepare, I focus on those for a few hours.
Me too. I try to do my important tasks in the morning when my mind is fresh. Then, around noon, I start thinking about lunch.
Oh yes, lunch is important. Do you usually bring your own lunch or buy something nearby?
It depends on the day. Sometimes I bring a sandwich or leftovers from the night before. Other times, I go to a nearby cafe to grab a quick meal. How about you?
I prefer bringing my own lunch. I like to cook a bit extra at dinner so I can have something healthy for the next day. But occasionally, I join my coworkers for a meal outside. It's nice to take a break and chat.
Definitely. Lunch breaks are a good time to relax and socialize. How long is your lunch break typically?
Usually about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how busy I am. If I'm really busy, I'll just eat at my desk. But I prefer to step away from the computer if I can. It helps me recharge.
Same here. After lunch, I usually have more energy for the afternoon. However, around 3 p.m., I sometimes feel a bit sleepy. Do you ever get that afternoon slump?
Yes, I do. Around 3 o'clock or 3:30 p.m., I start feeling tired. Sometimes I grab a small snack, like fruit or nuts, or I get another cup of coffee. Then I push through until the end of the workday.
That's a good strategy. A quick snack can help with that sleepy feeling. I like to stand up and stretch for a moment too. Just walking around the office or chatting with a colleague can give me a little break.
Right. Moving around helps. So, when does your workday usually end?
I typically finish around 5:30 or 6 p.m. If I have a big project, I might stay later, but usually I leave by 6 o'clock. Then I catch the bus back home. By the time I arrive, it's almost 6:30 or 7 p.m.
That's a decent schedule. I usually finish around 5:30 p.m. as well. If there's no heavy traffic, I might get home by 6 p.m. It's nice to have some free time in the evening.
Absolutely. The evening is my time to relax or do personal tasks. Once I'm home, I often change into comfortable clothes and then decide what to cook for dinner. What about you, Sophia? What's your evening routine like?
I do something similar. First, I change into casual clothes. Then I check if I need to do any errands, like buying groceries. If not, I start preparing dinner. I enjoy cooking, so I might experiment with a new recipe or make something simple, like pasta or stir-fry.
Nice. I wish I was better at cooking. I usually keep it simple, maybe chicken with vegetables, or a quick salad. Sometimes I order takeout if I don't feel like cooking.
That's understandable. After dinner, do you have any particular habits or hobbies?
Yes, I do. I often read a book or watch a TV show. I try to read a few pages in English, or watch a series in English to keep practicing. If I have time, I also like to play guitar. It helps me unwind.
That sounds relaxing. I usually do some yoga or go for a short walk if the weather is nice. Then I might watch a movie or chat with friends online. Sometimes I study a little bit too, especially if I have an online course.
Great. Balancing work, relaxation, and learning is important. So, when do you usually go to bed?
I try to go to bed around 10:30 or 11 p.m. I like to have enough sleep, at least 7 hours. Before I sleep, I usually spend a few minutes writing in a journal or reading something light. It helps me wind down.
That's a healthy habit. I aim for 11 p.m. as well, but sometimes I stay up until midnight if I'm watching something interesting or talking to friends. However, I feel much better if I sleep earlier.
Definitely. Getting enough sleep makes the next day so much easier.
True. Now that covers our Monday to Friday routine. What about weekends? Do you have a different schedule on Saturdays and Sundays?
Yes, my weekend routine is different. I usually sleep in a bit later, maybe until 8 o'clock or 8:30 a.m. Then I take my time with breakfast. Sometimes I go to a cafe with friends. I also do chores like laundry or cleaning. How about you?
My weekends are somewhat similar. I sleep a bit later too. I might go grocery shopping or clean my apartment. Sometimes I meet friends for lunch or go to the park. Weekends are for rest and hobbies, in my opinion.
That's nice. Do you have any special hobby on weekends?
I love hiking. If the weather is good, I drive to a nearby trail and spend a few hours walking in nature. It helps me clear my mind. What do you do for fun on weekends?
I sometimes visit my family if they're in town. Or I go shopping if I need new clothes or something for the house. I also enjoy baking cookies or cakes. Baking is one of my favorite weekend activities.
That's wonderful. Homemade cookies sound delicious. Maybe I should stop by your place to try some.
You're welcome anytime. I'd be happy to share. So, Alex, Do you think we covered enough about our daily routines?
I think so. We went through morning routines, work schedules, lunch breaks, afternoons, evenings, and weekends. We shared a lot of simple phrases that our listeners can use to talk about their own routines.
That's right. Maybe we can give a quick summary or some tips for people who want to practice talking about daily routines in English.
Good idea. My tip would be, use clear time expressions. For example, say, I wake up at 7 a.m. or I leave for work at 8:30 a.m. This helps the listener understand your schedule better.
That's a great tip. Also, use simple verbs like wake up, get dressed, go to work, leave the house, have lunch, and so on. These are common actions that describe a routine.
Exactly. And try to include details about how you feel. For instance, I feel refreshed after my morning shower, or I feel sleepy around 3 p.m. It makes the conversation more personal.
Yes, that's a good idea. You can also add little details about preferences or habits. For example, I always drink tea, or I sometimes read before bed. These simple details make your routine sound natural.
Perfect. And if you want to ask someone about their routine, you can say, what time do you usually wake up? Or, how do you usually spend your evenings? Or, do you have any special weekend habits?
Right. Those questions are polite and open-ended, so the other person can share more information. It's a great way to practice conversation skills.
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk briefly about how daily routines can change sometimes. For example, if we're sick or if there's a holiday, our schedules might be different.
That's true. We should be flexible. On special occasions like a birthday, I might go out to dinner with friends instead of cooking at home. On vacation days, I might sleep much longer or travel somewhere.
Exactly. Our daily routines are not fixed forever. They can change based on life events, new jobs, or even new goals. It's always interesting to revisit your routine once in a while and see if it works well for you.
Agreed. Sometimes small changes, like waking up 15 minutes earlier to stretch or read, can really improve our day.
That's a great point. A little adjustment in our routine can have a big impact. Thanks, Sophia, for sharing all these details about your day. I learned some new things about you.
And thank you, Alex, for sharing yours. It's always fun to compare routines and discover new ideas. I might try to go hiking once in a while, thanks to your inspiration.
I highly recommend it. Well, I think we've covered a lot today. This conversation should help our listeners understand how to talk about daily routines in simple English.
Yes, indeed. Everyone listening, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Now you have some new vocabulary and phrases to use when discussing your own daily routine with friends or classmates.
And that wraps up our episode on talking about daily routines. Thanks for tuning in to Alex's English podcast. If you enjoyed our chat, please give this video a like. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts or questions, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Your support helps us create more helpful English content. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate every one of you. Until next time, take care and keep practicing.
Yes, keep practicing every day. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day and happy learning.